Hi, everyone. This is Susie Church Brown with the Healthy Expat Parent, and I am here today for a bit of a thought stream that's kind of the result of a number of different conversations and interactions with folks. Basically, what we're going to be talking today is about how to adopt a new behavior. And this could be maybe a new physical routine. You want to start exercising. Maybe you want to, start doing a new hobby, or you want to commit to some sort of family or relationship change. This is different ways to support that behavior to happen and help you really adopt and engage with that new behavior. So what we are talking today about is establishing a new behavior and adopting it into a consistent pattern, into a habit. I think this came from a number of different conversations, like I said, that I've had, many of which are kind of twofold. One is that someone wants to start a new pattern and they feel like they just can't, and there are all of these obstacles in their way. And we'll talk about obstacles in a moment, both real and imagined. The other is the conversation with people who are all motivated and gung-ho, ready to start this new behavior. And they start describing some of their planned activities and new patterns. And from an outside point of view, you can see the different inherent obstacles in what they are saying. For example, a person that I know wanted to start a new physical routine. And so they were going to adopt this elaborate new exercise regime that involved them going to a particular gym using particular equipment that they weren't completely familiar with. So they had to engage in a membership in this gym, and they had to somehow learn how to use this equipment. And then they had to start to regularly include this new behavior, or this new routine, in their already established and pretty darn full schedule. And from an outsider point of view, or someone that can, more neutrally pull back the lens and see all of the different details, it was very clear that adding another complicated element to an already complicated schedule for minimal results probably wasn't going to be resulting in a fully adopted behavior. But also, sometimes some lessons need to be learned on their own, and don't rely on input from others. So in that particular instance, in that particular conversation, I let it go to the wayside and not push my particular thoughts. Let's talk about why a new behavior might not be successful. I just gave you one example, and we'll talk a little bit more about overly complicated ideas and behaviors. But there's the idea of self-sabotage, and that is where you are trying to potentially, okay, let's use the instance of establishing a new exercise routine, and you regularly say you want to do it, but you don't put it onto your schedule. You don't have the time to do whatever sort of behavior it is you want to do. You don't have the time to go from your workplace, say, to your gym, or you don't have proper footwear, or you consistently say you're going to do it after work, and you know full well that you always end up getting pulled into meetings or discussions or tasks that will go past your normal work schedule. And so you know that that is not a possibility to regularly be able to go to the gym after work. These are different kinds of unconscious self-sabotage that don't set you up for success. There are very specific things that you can do for yourself that would help you set yourself up for success. And we'll talk about some of those, but not ensuring those are in place won't really lead you on that path to success. The other thing that is really important to consider is, why do you have this goal? With a little bit of self-reflection, you can start to understand, maybe you have had a couple routine health visits, and the doctor continues to tell you that you need to lose weight, or you need to gain more muscle, or you need to be more cardiovascularly active. And now you're finally motivated to do something about it. Or potentially you, you see all of your friends regularly being active, and that's something that you'd like to see and gain for yourself. And you see that they have a lot more energy, and they're feeling really confident in their clothes and in their movements, and they're doing more active activities, like going for walks with friends instead of meeting up at a cafe or a restaurant. And that's something that you would like for yourself. These are all great, and that's a great motivation. What's not a good motivation is if that's not your own goal. So, for example, maybe you just want to tag along because all of your friends are going to the gym, and you think that that would be a fun way to hang out with them, but you don't necessarily want to participate in any activities or exercises yourself. You're probably not going to stick with that goal. Or if you are motivated by outside factors, like you see on your social media a lot of probably photoshopped women or men, and they look amazing, and you want to look that amazing as well. That's probably not only not realistic, but it's also potentially dangerous. That's not what this conversation is about. But it's really important to understand where the motivation for this particular new behavior adoption comes from. Let's talk about 3 things that would really help set you up for successfully adopting a new behavior. One is, I've alluded this a little bit, but motivation. In order for change to happen, you have to want to see it happen. In order for it to stick, it has to be something that moves you towards something positive and good, rather than moving away from something negative. Moving away from something negative is not a good motivator, just because once you have left that particular circumstance, then your motivation is gone. But to move towards something positive, you are gaining a skill, gaining health, gaining energy. That is a positive endeavor. We all want more positive in our lives. And when you're trying to focus on doing less of negative behaviors, like, for example, you want to sit less or you want to lounge less, then it's harder to find motivation in that. Whereas if you're trying to do more positive behaviors, so, maybe your goal is to go for a walk every afternoon, or you'll use your standing desk for 30 minutes every day. Now you're focusing on gaining more positive behaviors. You're moving towards the good. So this is a really positive change, because human beings in general are motivated by positive behaviors. We like to do more positive and good things, especially if we ourselves reap the benefits. So the second element is convenience. In order for a change to stick, it has to be convenient. We are, in general, we want to take that path of least resistance, right? So if your behavior needs to include, for example, membership to a very expensive gym, or a lot of new equipment, or going to a place where you don't feel confident and comfortable, you will not be more likely to engage in those behaviors. If you have to drive across town to get to your gym or to your point of exercise, you're probably going to find excuses not to do it. If you have maybe only a few tiny windows of opportunity where you can engage in this new behavior, again, if it's not convenient, it probably won't happen. Maybe you have engaged a coach that is coaching, I don't know, 50 other people, and they only have, 30 minutes every other day for you. 30 minutes every other day. And again, understanding that that's a bit of an exaggeration, but that's not going to give you the opportunity to really engage and learn from that coach. If you don't know how to use the equipment, for example, or if you don't, you don't have the proper shorts, shirts, shoes, then again, it's a much smaller chance of that element sticking. Convenience is really, really key. It has to be easily accessible without inconveniencing you time and money, and then it will be much more likely to stick. Another element that is really important is simplicity. If you are trying to adopt a new 27-step exercise routine, there are chances that you're not going to be able to remember the entire routine, and that lack of understanding and comprehension of the entire routine will provide frustration and be less encouraging for you to stick with it. Easy to follow steps, easy to follow instructions, easy to remember guidelines. These are all really, really important for how new routine becomes adopted into your general pattern. Setting yourself up for greater successes by having a simple approach to your new adopted habit is really, really important. So a couple other things that can also help, and other factors that can also help with truly adopting a new behavior. One is adding a social element. There are all of these different parts of our wellness wheel. And when you combine different parts of that wellness wheel, it helps to really engage with that behavior and pattern on a more regular basis. So for example, if you're combining that physical element with the social element, then you are much more likely to stick with it. Part of what I mean by adding that social element is maybe you sign up for a class, or maybe you start on this behavior together with a buddy or a family member. Now you've added that positive social peer pressure, and that helps to really provide motivation. If you, maybe you're meeting your friend 4 or 5 days a week for either a walk or a run. Maybe you're doing it in the morning, and this helps to, make sure that it happens during your day. You don't get too busy. But no one really wants to get up 30 minutes early. But if you have that friend that you would let down if you don't show up, that helps to motivate you to be there. That's what I mean by positive peer pressure. If maybe you don't show up, maybe you just couldn't get the motivation together. Now your friend is going to start messaging you with like, oh, here, I missed you. I really wanted to work out with you today. I had these 5 things that I wanted to talk about. Again, positive social peer pressure. The other thing that really helps a habit to stick is if you put it on your schedule in ink, not pencil, because pencil you can erase, right? So if you have it on your calendar, put it on your work calendar, put it on your home calendar, and let everybody know, this is important to me. I need to make this time for myself. Then they know they can't schedule things over it. If you don't put it on your calendar, it is more likely to slip. Another piece of that is, if you get up, I personally am a morning exerciser, and I find that doing the exercise and fitness in the morning helps it to happen. If I do it in the afternoon or even at lunchtime, I know that I'm going to get busy and things will slip or complicate doing my exercise. But I get up in the morning and I put on my workout stuff. So already I'm halfway there. I have my workout stuff on, and all I need to do is find that 30 minutes where I can just crank it out. I know that that's part of my recipe for success. You need to find what that is for you. Maybe your recipe for success is every 6 months, you treat yourself to a new pair of shorts and socks or whatever workout gear you like. It's possible to do this without spending a huge amount of money. And maybe that's a great motivator for you. A final thing that can really help with your successes, especially if your successes include going to a gym or learning new, maybe you're adding weight training to your schedule or your routine, hire a coach to teach you about the equipment. Honestly, a lot of the gym equipment can be really intimidating. It can feel like you've walked into a whole new world and you see everybody else successfully doing things and lifting things and sweating, and it can feel really, really intimidating. And it's also hard to know, like you can Google and watch videos and workouts online on YouTube and on TikTok, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're right for you, they're right for your body, and won't necessarily contribute towards you reaching your goal. So it's really important to have all of those things together, and a coach can really help you achieve those goals. They can not only teach you about the equipment, so you're doing the move properly and safely and effectively, but they can also figure out a routine that contributes most directly to you achieving your goals. Coaches are not expensive. And that investment is investment into yourself. However, with a little caveat, be sure you're not signing up for a package or supplements or add-ons that you do not need and you are not ready for. It's really important, just like medical advice, to get a second opinion. If someone is trying to sell you all of these supplements and powders and these extra classes that you just absolutely need to sign up for, probably they're trying to just pad their pocket and make a little bit of extra money, and those things aren't necessary. So be sure you, even a good coach might be a little pushy with these types of products and extra add-ons. So just keep your eyes open and know what you need, and get a second opinion. I hope this thread stream kind of supports your achieving your goals, be they fitness goals or activity goals or maybe organizing goals, like whatever helps you achieve your successes. Remember, my suggestions are: look at your motivation, figure out where it's coming from, figure out what you're motivated to achieve. Try to make the habit and behavior as convenient as possible, and try to make it as simple as possible. And in order to most successfully achieve these successes, add a social element, add another part of that wellness wheel, and that'll support the behavior as well. And finally, hire a coach. A learned person, a really knowledgeable person, can help you best adopt behaviors that support achieving your goals. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing another thought stream with you very soon. Have a great day. This is Susie Church Brown with the Healthy Expat Parent.